What's good, everybody? My name is Professor Peters. Today, we're going to be talking about perpendicular lines, and I'm going to show you guys how to determine if lines are perpendicular. So first, perpendicular lines are lines that intersect and will form right angles where they intersect, okay? And for lines to be perpendicular, their slopes have to be opposite reciprocals. All right. So before we even solve or try to break this problem down, let's talk about what opposite reciprocals are. So take for instance, we're talking about 1/2, right? So we need to understand that the opposite of 1/2, right? Positive 1/2 is going to be negative. So we already know that this second number, or the reciprocal, I should say, is going to be negative. And then understand that the reciprocal means we flip the number. So if this is 1/2, it's now going to be -2/1. And for us to definitely check if this is correct, we should know that the product, right, when we multiply the two slopes, it should give us a -1. And when I look at this opposite reciprocal right here, once we multiply straight across, we're going to get -2/2, which simplifies to -1. And just to make sure that we are definitely on the same page, I'm just going to do one more. So imagine we had -3/4. That means that our next fraction, right, or the reciprocal, I should say, is going to be flipped. So it's going to be 4/3. And if this was negative, the reciprocal, right, or should I say the opposite of negative, is going to be positive. So as we go through and we multiply straight across, we're going to get -12/12, which gives us -1. So please understand that they have to intersect, and the slopes are going to be opposite reciprocals. All right. So now that we got that done, let's jump on into this problem and have some fun. It's Friday. It's a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed the school week, and let's finish off with some, nice little studying and some homework. So first off, right, we're trying to determine if these two lines are opposite reciprocals, right? That's what we need to do. But before we could compare, they need to be in the same form, right? This is in slope intercept form. This is not. So we need to focus our attention here. So I have 4y is equal to -5x plus 12. Now, like I said, we want to solve for y. So to get y by itself, let's divide by 4, right? Divide by 4. And then we're also going to make sure that we divide this last term by 4 as well. So I'm going to get y is equal to -5/4x plus 3. So now that I'm done, I'm gonna look at them. I have 4/5 and I have 5/4 negative. And I know these are going to be perpendicular because they fit our criteria, but let's just make sure. So I'm going to take 4/5 and I'm going to multiply by -5/4. And there's two ways we could do this. After we multiply straight across, we'll get -20/20, which simplifies to -1. Or if we had cross canceled, right, everything would have been 1, and we would have just had -1/1, which is just -1, okay? So, like I said again, if we cross cancel, meaning canceled out the 4s, right, change those to 1, did the same things with 5, we would have -1/1, which just simplifies to -1. So this problem definitely fits that criteria of opposite reciprocals, okay? And what we're going to do, I'm going to jump over to the next problem. And in the next problem, I just want to take a look at a comparison problem. And what I mean is they're going to give you 3 or 4 equations, and they want you to determine which will be perpendicular. So they're going to give us 3, right? We have y is equal to -1/6x, right? second equation, we have y is equal to 6x. And then our third equation, y is equal to 6x minus 2. And there is a fourth one, guys. I'm so sorry, but we got to get this practice in today. We got to make sure you guys are prepared and you guys feel like you know exactly what to do and how to do it. All right, last one. Y is equal to negative 6x minus 5. Okay? So when we approach this problem, right? I'm going to start off with 1 and 4. So the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna just think about the opposite reciprocal, okay? All right, so I have 1 over 6, and just understand we're focusing on the slope, okay? I want you guys to understand this is where I'm pulling all these fractions and numbers from. So I have 1 over 6 from number 1, and I'm gonna compare it to number 4 first. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 6 over 1. And once I do that, I'm going to get positive 6 over 6, which equals 1. So the combination of equation 1 plus 4, right? We're not going to put an equal sign, I'm sorry. So equation of 1 and 4, this does not work. Now let's move to equation 1 and equation 3. So we're going to do 1 plus 3. And we're just talking about the equations, okay? So look at equation 1. All right, let's go back. We have the slope 1 over negative 6. And then we go to equation 3, and we're going to see we have positive 6. And so we're going to just make it a fraction by putting it over 1. And when I multiply straight across, I'm going to get negative 6 over 6, which simplifies to negative 1. So I think equation number 1 and 3, these would be perpendicular because it fits that criteria, opposite reciprocals, okay? And before we go, let's do the last comparison of equation 1 and equation 2. And just understand, guys, there's probably other combinations that may work, but I'm just focusing on comparing 2, 3, and 4 to equation number 1, right? And if you have any questions, comment down below for us. I'll definitely reply back, or we will reply back and get back to you as soon as possible. All right. So we're going to keep equation 1 slope the same, right? Because we're comparing to everything else. And oh, actually, we don't even have to do the work because it's the same exact thing. Positive 6, we're going to put it over 1. And once we multiply, we are going to get negative 6 over 6, which equals to negative 1. So I gave you guys two different scenarios in the sense of, hey, if you have any two equations, like full equations you have to compare, you guys know how to solve that. And also, if you have to compare one equation to 2, 3, and 4, they will sometimes do that. So we know that equation 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 would be perpendicular to each other. All right. So thank you guys for joining me today. This is Professor Peters. We will be having a live stream this Wednesday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And please catch us in our upcoming videos. I'm going to be talking about arithmetic sequences and geometric sequences. Hopefully, you guys find that helpful. That's going to probably be for my high school students and upper level students. Thank you guys so much for watching me out the road, Mr. Peters. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button for us. Thank you guys so much for joining today.